Sportsman's Paradise, Louisiana hosts a list of activities from hunting to hiking, fishing and biking, recreational sports, you name it, football, soccer, baseball.
But as Rob Krieger found out, there's one more that you can add to that list. And while its humble beginnings started in the Pacific, it's making a splash right here in New Orleans.
Lake Pontchartrain, a fickle body of water, typically calm, maybe even placid, but sometimes the brackish water turns into a tempest, kicking up crashing waves, spewing into the streets, crushing the seawall, and sometimes, just sometimes, creating a secret swell.
People say that in Louisiana there's no waves. It's because whenever there is waves, people are inside, or they're not at the beach, and that's when we're there.
They're there, surfing.
It's almost like an evangelistic experience. You get to share, like, there's surf in Louisiana.
Don't believe it? Just check it out. That's Lake Pontchartrain, peeling out waves good enough to ride. In fact, these guys and gals are just a handful of surfers shredding the lake, all part of the Poncha Surf Club, created by Keegan McGuire.
It actually started as a joke, and I wanted to make t-shirts about surfing the lake, and it actually ended up becoming something, which was kind of strange. A lot of people kind of grabbed hold of it and did what they wanted with it.
The club is made up of some locals, East and West Coast surfers, and even some Hawaiian expats like George Lee, who moved here from Oahu 7 years ago, landing in Louisiana, desperate to find a wave.
That was the first thing that I thought. It was like, where's the closest break that I can go surf? So I started in Florida when I was about 15, and then I heard that there was waves in the lake, which like totally took me by surprise because it's a lake.
Lee stretched those Hawaiian roots into the club, finding a home here in the South and catching a wave that truly means more to him than you might think.
Surfing, I can say surfing saved my life a bunch of times. Like growing up, staying out of trouble, having something to do and staying active. Surfing just really kept me busy and kept me on a good path.
It's a path he's continuing to carve through Poncha Surf.
The sense of community through Poncha Surf Club is really just like, the camaraderie is awesome. Like they really make you feel welcome, and like there's people that have been surfing, you know, their whole life for 20, 30 years. There's people that are just now starting to surf, and you know, they lend out boards. Everybody's super nice, you know, nobody's like pretentious about it. So it's really welcoming.
So welcoming, they offered me a board so I could put my limited surf experience to the test in a lake on an incredibly windy and chilly day. Yep, that's me, fully wetsuited and nowhere trained enough to tackle this surf. They call that getting worked. Still, the Poncha crew welcomed me nonetheless.
I don't know if you saw me out there.
Yeah, I saw you. I think everybody saw you.
What's your assessment, I guess?
I mean, you're a natural. You got some training in Hawaii, so you got that going. Just stick with it. You know, it's all about having fun. Nobody cares like how you look when you're surfing. It's all about just having fun and, you know, hanging out with the boys.
As a novice and unable to actually hang 10, let alone 1, I can easily say this was fun, even if the waves in New Orleans aren't anything like Waikiki.
It's not like Hawaii or California where you've got it every day or every week. Sometimes you go about 2-3 months without even having a wave, but that's just how it is on the Gulf Coast. So we go everywhere.
Chasing. Right?
Yeah, it's a constant chase.
Often that chase leads to the edge of Louisiana, Grand Isle, where McGuire planted Poncha's flag, offering up boards to visitors, that is, until Ida ravaged the tiny island.
Oh my God. I don't think this has been opened.
2 months after the storm, McGuire took us to the shop that housed his boards. The building, crumbled brick, power conduit sunken into the sand, but inside, some hope.
So those are the boards.
Yeah, those are the boards over there, or at least I can see 3 of them. Let's see. I wonder if any of these run. Yeah, so I got 4 right here. This is one of my first boards. That one made it.
The building took on at least a foot of water, some of the equipment tossed around, but even still, McGuire isn't prepared to bring the Poncha crew back down to Grand Isle, not with the massive cleanup and rebuilding effort underway.
But with everything outside, I mean, I don't even know what to say about something like that. There's really nothing to say. You just sit there and almost want to cry, you know. Something that you've seen, you don't recognize any landmarks or anything like that.
The evidence of Ida's wrath remains on Grand Isle, the burrito levee decimated, the beach not much better.
The amount of destruction, it really begins to paint the picture of what actually happened here, right?
Hell. Pretty much, you know. I couldn't even imagine being here during that. And there was people that stayed, you know, people that didn't want to leave.
Still, somehow, McGuire finds a way to smile, recovering a few boards to bring back to the lake.
Yeah, just put it in that corner. Epic. Everyone kind of says like the surfer mentality is like you're bummed and then you're stoked. You're bummed and then you're stoked. I'm bummed that the hurricane came through, but I'm stoked for the future, you know? It's that kind of mentality.
And while that might sound like a stereotypical surfer, there's a reason once you catch a wave, you just can't shake it.
It's a spiritual experience, and it's about the only time in your life where you are by yourself and you're not in control.
When you get your first drop in, it's like there's really nothing else that you can use to describe it. Like, it's just the best feeling in the world. Like, you just feel like you're with the wave. Without sounding kooky, you're like one with the wave. So it's a really special feeling for sure.
That's why McGuire and the rest of his crew will keep uncovering Louisiana's secret swells, no matter how long it takes to find them or how long it takes to recover their favorite spots left bare by the storm.
It's too hard to say like, oh, I'm just giving up, you know? I think the thing is because we're based around surfing, there's always going to be water here, and hopefully there's always sand. So as long as there's sand, like Carmadel says, like, he says we'll plant a flag, but I'll say we'll surf.
And that is a reason to stay stoked. Rob Krieger, Fox 8, local first.
Poncha Surf Club regularly posts on Instagram if you're curious about the latest wave, or maybe you think that you could do better than Rob on a board.